Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, has reportedly been confining himself within his 30-room Royal Lodge residence in Windsor, primarily to avoid the prying eyes of photographers, it has been claimed. This retreat into relative seclusion comes as the prince continues to face intense public scrutiny following his alleged connections to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. He has vehemently and repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. Editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine Ingrid Seward told Fabulous magazine, "The Duke of York is quite limited as to where he can go, because he obviously doesn't want to be photographed and then subsequently criticized. So his world is very narrow." She also added that his two daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, consequently bring their families over to see the Duke of York at his home. She said, "He does see a lot of his grandchildren and enjoys spending time with them. I think because they know that he's kind of stuck at Royal Lodge, they will go out of their way to go and see him rather than him coming to see them." The Duke of York announced he would step back from royal duties in 2019 due to his alleged connections with Jeffrey Epstein and following a Newsnight interview where he was quizzed by broadcaster Emily Maitlis. In the interview, his attempt to address allegations regarding his association with Epstein backfired, leading to widespread criticism and his subsequent withdrawal from royal duties. Prince Andrew: The Epstein Scandal was aired on Newsnight on the BBC in November 2019, and also questioned the prince's relationship with Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who alleged he sexually assaulted her. The Duke consistently and vehemently denies the allegations. He reached an out-of-court settlement with Virginia, who had brought a civil case against the prince for sexual assault. The settlement was not an admission of guilt and Andrew accepted no liability. He remains living in Royal Lodge, his 30-room property and 98 acres of grounds on the Windsor estate, which he has lived in for over 20 years after signing a 75-year lease. When he is not at his property, which he shares with ex-wife Sarah Ferguson, Andrew spends a lot of his time horse riding in a remote part of Windsor Great Park, where he can avoid crowds. Sources have told The Sun that in the local area, Andrew is believed to be somewhat of a recluse, only emerging from his home to ride his horses or play golf at an exclusive club. One said, "You used to see him going up to the stables to go riding and he'd be talking non-stop to the grooms and they'd rarely be saying anything back. You wondered what they got out of it." Ingrid has explained, Andrew is said to have a tight bond with his family, and shared, "He has a very, very good relationship with his daughter's children, and I think that's one of the main things that sustains him. They all get on very well." It has been reported, however, that Prince Andrew, who resides at the £30 millions property, is struggling to pay the £400,000 a year needed for extensive repair. Royal Lodge, located in Windsor Great Park, has been a significant financial burden for Prince Andrew since he signed a 75-year lease in 2003, which stipulates property maintenance in exchange for a modest weekly ground rent. The Duke could face eviction if he fails to maintain the property.